Mix from the Double Wide Network studios in the Camelback Towers. ScottsdaleKnights.com presents Gratrock Radio. Now, here's your host, Daniel Spaulding.
Welcome to Wednesday. I don't want to say Happy Hump Day because I say it all the time.
Change it up.
Change it up a little bit. You know, I don't know if I can say Happy Hump Day because we're sitting here at the Camelback Towers at DoubleWideNetwork.com, and it's really cloudy, gloomy, and somewhat misting rain right now. So Spitting rain. It's like God's spitting on us.
Yep, that's how I felt today. Depressing
day. It is kind of hard to get going.
Yeah, it really was.
But in studio here, Dooley.
Hello, guys.
And Uoli.
Hello.
Does the gloomy weather really bring you down?
I
don't let it. I fight it.
I think it sucks the energy out of me. It's not so much that it brings it down. It's just I don't want to do anything.
It's hard to start your day with a spring in your step, as I say.
Exactly. I just want to watch an old movie or nothing.
What's old to you? What's an old movie?
A movie like old like Boondock Saints or something.
90s is an old movie.
Old school, maybe.
That's like 2001.
I just
still
saw the
old.
Boondocks.
You know what's a good rainy day movie?
What?
Which one?
Big.
Big?
Yeah.
And old.
Big is old.
That's an
Big
old
is
movie.
good. Big is good.
It's a good rainy day movie.
So do you want to talk about Yoli's outfit? Because
What do we got here today?
she came in with boots.
There's anything wrong with it. It's just always interesting.
She has some kind of
It's not
ninja snake eyes storm shadow boots going on right now.
Well, here's what I like about the outfit. I'll say this. Look how many buttons she could have buttoned, and look how many she chose to for us. Like, she went 1 of 10 for us. Wait.
You know what?
Now.
She's a female and she's using her talent.
She knows what she's doing.
Yeah, I would
She
do
knows
the
how
same
she got
thing.
the
There's
internship.
6
Whatever
buttons.
this is.
There's
If I
6
had breast, I would unbutton my buttons.
Oh, yeah.
I would have to shave my
Would
chest.
you go-
Imagine if I,
1
you know
for
what?
12?
I have to wear an undershirt. Imagine if I didn't. Like,
I'm
imagining that right now.
No.
We have coming up after the break. Howard Hughes is going to be on the show with us, and he just unbuttoned his shirt pretty much all the way.
The guy, the airplane guy?
No, totally different guy.
Totally just I'm
Oh.
sure.
Now it's funny. Here's the funny thing. We were talking earlier about how I was upset because yesterday I missed National Homemade Soup Day.
Yeah.
Totally blew that one. But today is Move Hollywood and Broadway to Lebanon, Pennsylvania Day. What is that?
That is a day.
What is that about?
Repeat that?
Yeah.
It is Move Hollywood and Broadway to Lebanon, Pennsylvania Day. And that's real general too, because Broadway makes sense. Oh, that's whatever. And Hollywood. Hollywood encompasses a lot more than just
But
the
Lebanon?
thought of Broadway.
Lebanon Day.
Lebanon, Pennsylvania.
Well, there's a city in Pennsylvania called Lebanon.
Yeah.
Still.
It's stupid. I don't even get it.
Long name.
It's also Western Monarch Day. Do we have a Western monarch?
What is a monarch?
I
A
was,
monarch's like a prince or a princess.
That's
It's
that's
like
what
a,
I was
like a
thinking.
figurehead.
But I
a
didn't.
figurehead of some sort. Yeah,
We don't have
like
that.
popish, papal.
Papal?
National Chocolate Fondue Day.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
Fondue Day.
Fun.
It'd be
It has the word
fondue.
fun in it.
You guys had chocolate fondue?
Yes.
I've been to what's that place called? The Melting Pot. Delicious.
Yeah, that's the only place that does it right, but they have I went to that Golden Corral buffet.
That's horrible.
No.
Well, I mean, the commercials made it look good, and they had a deal, so I finally decided to try it, and holy hell, that is a terrible place.
It is.
They had their chocolate fountain,
Right.
And it tasted like watered down milk from after you eat Fruity Pebbles or chocolate Cocoa Pebbles, it tasted like the milk from that watered down.
Golden Corral is the place you go to eat before or after you visit Walmart.
It makes me
Kind of the
depressed.
same. It is. You
It
go in
makes
and
me super
You sit
depressed.
down and eat, and you look around, and you're like, "Wow, this is why the rest of the world hates
Yeah.
America." Is this place
All,
right
all
here?
that was shopping at Walmart made me hungry. Let's stop at a Golden Corral.
Hey, you're just joking around,
Or
with your
Barf Barn.
buddies
Yeah.
at Golden Corral about, hey, we should take the pancakes or the eggs and dip it in the chocolate fondue. But there's people really doing that, and they're not joking around. It's
Oh yeah,
serious.
there's these obese people dipping their pizza in the chocolate and just
It's horrible.
Yeah.
There's shrimp. Ugh. Shrimp cocktail with chocolate.
a shrimp chocktail.
Cocktail. Speaking of which, today is World Nutella Day.
Is it really?
Why is everything around chocolate today? This whole month is just chocolate
because
every
it's
single day.
Valentine's,
I
duh.
know.
Are you really
I'm
asking?
trying to stay away
because
from
it's
it.
Black History Month. That's why everything's chocolate. No, it's not.
That works too.
I got the
So?
correlation.
It works out pretty
It
well,
makes
actually.
sense.
Thank you very
It
much.
makes sense.
That's mildly
Good
racist,
theory.
Yoli. But
Okay.
you
Now
can
tomorrow there's three interesting holidays. Tomorrow's International Day of
Wait, I
Zero
don't want to
Tolerance.
skip past Nutella.
Okay,
Ella.
let's go back to
Nutella.
Nutella.
Did you know
Rewind.
Hershey Chocolate just created their own little like chocolate thing you can put on bread and stuff?
A
Hertella.
chocolate spread.
Yeah, chocolate
Ooh,
spread.
chocolate spread.
That's-
I saw that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The third one was the
there
best
was no
one.
plot.
No, really.
Zero plot. I
Zero.
mean, once the pizza guy got there, it was just
That's
all
sweet.
downhill from there.
Yeah, I hope it's a pizza ass.
Speaking of which, I saw a funny picture that said porn is a bad example to our young people about how unrealistic it is on how fast a plumber will come to your house.
That's true. They don't have to wait that 6 to 8 hour window.
Right, that you have to be there all day.
You should
We'll
be
here.
naked and home.
What time can we expect them? 9 a.m. till next year.
Yeah.
Just be there. But yeah, skip Nutella because tomorrow is International Day of Zero Tolerance.
So I can.
I'm not
be a
gonna put
total
up with that.
jerk to
Oh,
people.
wait. Oh, my goodness. I didn't read the rest of it. Hold on. It gets better.
Oh, he had to go to
It's
landscape mode to read the
I had
rest
to go
of
to
it.
landscape. It's International Day of Zero Tolerance to Female Genital Mutilation.
What?
What is that about?
Genital mutilation is when they.
I know what it is.
You know what that is?
I know what it
You
is.
Sure.
I've seen pictures.
Is no one going to
Okay.
explain this to the layman?
I
know what it is, too.
I'm assuming it's self done though, or are we talking about?
Well, this is protesting basically in a lot of places in
Cultures
Africa
and stuff?
and in tribes. They will actually forcibly remove a woman's clitoris to make sure sex isn't a pleasurable thing for them.
See, I thought it was,
And people have a problem with that.
I thought it was
Yep.
people against like piercings and stuff.
No.
I was like, come on, just let them be.
See, Yoli's having hers enlarged actually for the
Yeah.
for the opposite reason.
Wait, did you notice when she runs? Did you hear that when she runs? It's like clink, clink, clink.
It's like sleeve of wizard.
Crazy to stop.
Tomorrow's Lame Duck Day too, which I think is
Wow.
lame.
Yikes.
Get it, Lame Duck.
No, I don't get it.
So anyway, a lot of stuff has happened over the last week. Yoli was asking if I watched the Grammys. I did not. Did you, Dooley?
I watched the recap. Is all you need to do.
Did you watch it, Yoli?
I did.
Was there anything that stood out?
Honestly, it bored me. I just watched it because it was on and I was studying. So
I didn't watch it. I did see some of the controversy, mostly from like really conservative groups about. I was going to say Yolanda about Madonna and Katy Perry doing like satanic dances.
yeah,
and
there
stuff.
there was that one. Her
And
new
it's like,
song
really,
is supposed
you guys
to be
are
like.
Are you're still getting offended? You know, it's 2014 and you're still getting offended by the MTV crowd. I mean, shouldn't this have stopped back in 1990?
That's something I wanted to ask. This is the first time I actually sat down and kind of watched the full Grammys.
Right.
Is it supposed to be kind of like MTV?
Yes. Well, I mean,
that's what
without
it felt
MTV, there really wouldn't be a huge following for the Grammys.
I guess. I don't know.
Even though
Something I
we've
asked
taken
about.
out the music video of the MTV, it's still kind of the MTV generation that spawned the hype of the Grammys. Even though the MTV Music Awards are far more entertaining.
The MTV Music Awards, I feel like, are more.
It's a party.
Eh.
I think it's more of a party.
Yeah,
People
there
come
we
hang
go.
out. They're
It's not
trying
as
to,
professional.
yeah, they're trying to be over the top. They're doing what they really want to do, dressing like they want to dress and so forth. Whereas in the Grammys, they're trying to be, like you said, like Hollywood. They're trying to be professional and polite and all
It's
that
like
kind
dinner
of
at
stuff.
your parents' house as opposed to like
Yeah,
dinner with
so
friends.
it's a lot more boring, I think.
Yeah.
Same as the Oscars. I mean, good night. The
They also
Oscars are
mean
boring.
more. They mean more.
They do mean more
no
because
one gives a damn about an MTV award.
No, that was just fun. It's kind of like the MTV Movie Awards. Like
Yeah.
any of the movies selected for the MTV categories are
horrible.
not in the same categories
Best
as
Kiss?
Yeah, Best Kiss. And you get Spider-Man
Best
recommended
Fight?
for stuff.
I know, right?
But in reality,
Spider-Man swept the VMAs, MVAs. What the hell do they call them?
VMAs. No, that's Video Music Awards.
MTV Movie Awards.
that's
That's what
it.
they call them. Okay.
But I think they're more entertaining though, because they are more laid back and it's supposed to be.
Did you
fun.
see the Radioactive song with Kendrick Lamar?
I did not see anything.
That was like the best. I thought that was the best one.
I thought you were going to
throughout
say
the whole-
Radioactive Spider.
Radio-
That was going to be cool.
yes.
No,
See
and then the
Radioactive
Super
Spider?
Bowl, which we really don't need to talk about the game. That sucked.
Apparently.
Most of the commercials weren't that great. There was the little commercial with the tiny dog with a giant head. That was hilarious. And did you see it?
I saw it from a distance, and I wish I was a little bit closer, but it was hilarious.
It was funny. The best part is when they were at the dog show and like the commentators were commenting. They're like, "It's really disgusting. It's disturbing to look at."
And it goes after him.
Yeah, I think it's looking at us. And then of course there was the Transformers preview
How was
See
that?
Another one.
with the Dinobots.
I would rather watch knee surgery than a
Did you not hear Dinobots?
Oh no, I didn't.
There's Dinobots. in it.
Dinobots, you say?
You got to watch it now. It's got the Dinobots.
That is serious. The Transformers is the dumbest concept in history. It really is.
So
Is
next
it the
week, join us
concept
when we
of
have
it?
a new producer on the show.
Is it the concept of it that really
Was it the
is
Transformers
is-
talk?
It was
Is that
the
what did it?
Transformers
Is that what
talk.
did it?
That was. How do you not like the Transformers?
What's to like about them? They're
The
freaking,
robots in disguise.
but they're robot aliens from another galaxy that turn into Chevy vehicles. It makes no sense.
they're disguise. What do you want them to turn into? Plants?
They shouldn't even. How do they procreate? They have like kids in a hierarchy.
They have kids?
They have to create
How are
them.
they? What?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they don't have
procreating?
children.
Where did that come from?
How are they a
Ridiculous.
species?
They-
How are
they-
they a species?
They're the same type of species that will be in the future when they've learned to download our brain into the computer, which Google says they will do by 2045.
So are you saying they're just timeless machines?
Ooh, I like that. Yes.
The Allspark made
Yes.
all of them and then stopped, and then that just Transformers. There's not going to be any more of them. Any less
I think
of
the
them?
Allspark
They just
is
learn how to
supposed
create
to
themselves.
represent like the spirit, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a God, and that's the spirit that lives within you. That's the Allspark, I think, or the Force. You want to look at it that
Don't-
way?
You just
Don't-
made this
don't-
philosophical.
Don't
It is philosophical.
Don't start jumping.
Watch the
genres.
movies. It
I
is
have
very
seen the movies.
philosophical,
I have
and
seen the
they tap into a lot of did
What-
aliens actually create us and all that kind of
I'm
stuff.
sorry. I'm sorry. You said the Michael Bay Transform movies are philosophical.
He didn't write them. He just directed them.
I just love your face, Dooley. It's like
I'm just
it's like
flabbergasted.
This is like the biggest nerd argument we've ever had.
I know.
like-
it's
but
hurting
the-
my heart. I feel
It's hurting my
the
heart.
sadness of your face, like of disappointment in humanity. Like
Well,
it's
it's
just,
just
I see
like-
it on your face.
Good God.
I grew
I've
up
seen
with the
philosophical
Transformers.
movies.
Hold on a second. Okay, so let's back up a little bit. How do you feel about G.I. Joe then?
Oh,
G.I. Joe was
brilliant.
Oh, okay. All right, you want a little piece back with that. Not the movies, though. The
No,
movies suck.
honestly, I don't have a problem with G.I. Joe, but that was definitely a little before my
So what was
formative
your
years.
big memory toy growing up that you're like, oh man, yeah, I've got to see that just because it's part of my childhood?
I was a video games guy, and also Mortal Kombat. I remember being really excited about the Mortal Kombat movie, and then in retrospect, that was garbage.
I thought the first one was entertaining.
It was
the second
entertaining.
one horrible.
Well, that was the thing. Like I saw it as a kid, and I thought it was amazing. I went and I rented it, and you wanted to show it to my dad, and he sat there for an hour and a half, like this is the stupidest pile of crap. And I'm like, but
I need to rewatch it. It's been
But
a
that's
long
Reptile.
time.
He's only in Mortal Kombat 2. It's like a cameo.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, what was
Okay, I need to rewatch it now.
what did
Yeah.
you? Have
That's
you got anything
philosophical.
before we go to break
Do I have
this
anything to
weekend? This week or this past week, besides the Grammys and the horrible football game.
say? People are getting into sorry, my voice is all weird.
They're getting
Meeting
into,
people from high school again.
Isn't
I
that
guess.
Facebook?
No, I guess just lately I've been bumping into a lot more people from high school.
Have they been following you?
I guess, sorta. And it's just weird learning about them, and people are doing drugs, hardcore drugs now.
Oh wow.
So
Cool. That's
I'm
cool.
doing pretty good in my life, I guess, right?
Because you're doing them with them.
I'm not doing heroin.
She just
No,
sells
you're not
them
doing
to
heroin.
him.
She's like I'm clean and sober, but I can hook you up. All right, when we come back, we've got a fun guest, and he's dressed cool. You know, I'm looking over there, and I'm thinking that he's getting ready to break out into a hipster song. No, he's shaking his head. No, we got Howard Hughes after the break. Stay tuned.
Feel the fire where she walks. Lord of Montana, so beautiful. Shady in the temper, dim. Blinding your eyes with a spot.
Welcome back. We have with us Mr. Howard Hughes.
What's happening?
How are you doing? Owner of Stand Up Scottsdale.
Yeah, face of Stand Up Scottsdale. I got a lot of owners, but
Yeah.
they're all great. Yeah.
You're the figurehead.
I'm the figurehead owner.
Nice. So how long? When did you become part of that?
You know what? We started it in March. March 12th. It'll be 2 years.
Okay.
And I started comedy in LA just because I happened to be there, and thank God, because I learned a lot of the silliness about it. And I moved back here after a divorce, and I had I had just taken a class out in LA, and I was like, I still do comedy, and so I started here. And somebody asked me if I wanted to do a show at a place called Sangria, and I did it, and this thing just kind of built. And then a year and a half later, these guys walked into my club, or into my show. They loved it, and they offered me money.
Wow. You can't beat that, right?
You can't. You can't.
And when you're a comedian or entertainer at all, anybody that offers you money, you're like, I'll do it. What is it?
You really do.
That's the second question.
Yeah.
I'll take it. What do you want me
answer
to do?
the phone, I'll take it.
Right. If you can't sell them a shirt,
Yeah.
then ask them for money.
So how long have you been here back in the Valley then?
Well, I mean, I've grown up here for the most part, but I got divorced. I don't know, probably 2008
Okay.
when I got back. Yeah,
And then that probably created quite a bit of material.
yeah. I'm just one of those types of people, though. I mean, I do have some divorce and marriage material, but I don't like doing stuff that
Situational.
No, I do like situational. Just the things that regular people would think that I'd be doing. I'd like to do less of that.
Right.
I'm kind of like the Edgar Allan Poe of comedy.
Oh, cool.
I take really dark things and make them painful and funny.
I like that because that's what we need is more life, more energy, more fun. Now, because I moved here in 96.
Oh, cool.
And as far as I know, there was really only one main comedy place out here at that time. And it seems like in the last couple of years, there's been quite a bit more pop up. Do you think Arizona's a good place for comedy, or catching up to like LA and places, or are we still like way behind?
Well, I think, as a whole, we're way behind. Well, everything's way behind.
That's what I say.
You
right?
get one chance to do something new and original, and then if it hits, then everybody starts doing it like that, in that vein. And then all of a sudden, sometime later, somebody else comes out who's new and original, and then everyone starts doing that. That's just how it goes. It's kind of like race car racing.
Right.
Everyone's following the person in the front.
Well, I've said this all the time, that when it comes to anything in entertainment, I mean, almost everything in Arizona. I love Arizona, but when it comes to industry-related things like entertainment and so forth, it's like we're behind on everything. We're trying to be LA, but we're not doing it the right way.
Right. I always tell people, we're in the Southwest, but we're more like Midwestern sensibilities.
Yes.
People like the front runner. You open the biggest place, and everyone's like, oh, it's the biggest place. It must be the best place. Oh, it's the most costly. It must be the best. Oh, it's this. You know what I mean? And we're bringing, with this club, we're bringing back a real sort of throwback comedy club experience, where you come into this club, and we're not like the big clubs where we're, trying to fancy it up and give you the biggest celebrity comedian and then hit you with, food and beverage
Right.
costs. And, we ask you to come in, we ask you to pay, and then we sell you reasonable food and beverage, and we ask you to sit there and have a comedic experience that we're in charge of, that we're taking you through. Not that you get to sit there and judge it.
Right.
And if you feel confident enough to say something in the moment, then we get to respond to that.
So I like that. I like that concept. So do you think that that's original to you guys? Like you kind of want to shy away from that?
Unfortunately, it is original to us.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Because a lot of comedy is a hustle.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And people know when they're seeing somebody who's just mailing it in and who's not challenging themselves to say something new and original in a way that they haven't heard it before, and they don't come back to those places. They know when somebody's performing for them and when somebody's giving them a part of them.
And I like this because Terry Frost, mutual friend and with us now, she mentioned that about you. She said, he's very straight up, and if you're a comedian and he hears you, he'll tell you, yeah, you're not ready. You're not ready to get on a big stage. You need to go back to work, or you need to do this and that, which is good because I think a lot of places want you, doesn't matter if you're funny or not, because they want you to bring X amount of people, so they're still making their dime. So, boom, there you go.
Man, that's totally it. And you know, when I started comedy, I've been doing it about 7 years now. And I just happened to be in L.A. We had lived in Mexico City for quite some time. We got married, and we moved to L.A. And I always wanted to do comedy, so I thought I'd take a class. And I take a class, and I don't like the class because the class teaches you, you know, they teach you how to turn left, essentially. You know what I mean? Well, just put on the gas and you turn left, and if you do this and this and this, people are going to laugh, and that's what you want, laughter from people.
Right.
Well, people paid to laugh. They're going to laugh at any dopey thing you say because their brain wants to be right about it, you know? So my very first pro show, you know, I had just gotten out of class, and this guy was like, how would you like your very first pro show to be at the world-famous Comedy Store on the Sunset Strip Friday night? And I was like, man, like, I knew I was very good at this very quickly. I had no idea. I'm like a professional already. And I had more than 20 people fly or drive from Phoenix and another 20-plus people from L.A. come and see me do 6 brutal, horrible minutes after a show of 18 other comedians. And by the time I left, that room was packed. And by the time I got on, only my family was there just sleeping on their arms like, holy Christ, I can't stand more bad comedy. But I gave it to them. I gave them 6 more minutes of bad son comedy. And that's when I told myself, you know what, I'm never gonna sell this stupid comedy dream to people. I'm never gonna hustle people, you know? And that's, you know, this city is it's all about the hustle. And I understand you got to stay in business. It's not easy staying in business if you're not taking advantage of comedians and their guests, you know. And but too, I want to be inclusive, and there are ways to do them both where everyone wins.
I think that's great. I love stand-up comedy, and it's one of those things where we just had a show not too long ago, and we had a bunch of comedians come in, and it was kind of in a conservative area, and so and Yoli was there. Right? These people didn't know if they should laugh or what because they was like, he's talking about sex. Or John Higbee was there who's got prosthetic limbs. Yeah. And he's talking about jokes about his arms, and people are like just looking around. I'm dying laughing. I'm like the only one laughing out loud. So they probably thought, what a sick freak this guy is. But it's like, just laugh, you know? People are so uptight about things sometimes. So I think it's cool at a comedy club because you know that you're going there to hear something funny. You're supposed to hear something funny. And something that you may not have laughed at on a regular basis, you'll laugh at because you're in that mood with a crowd of people. And I think that's a cool thing because laughter is the best medicine.
Right. And here's the thing, you know, laughter is the base reaction that a good comedian expects. Like, that's, you know, like I said, they came to laugh. Their brain wants to make them right about it. If you go up there and do a dopey dance, they're going to laugh about it. You know what I mean? And I want to rip that person off the stage. As soon as I see someone dancing or energizing it up with dopey garbage comedy that's just there to elicit this cheap laughter out of people, I don't want those people.
That's a really good way of explaining it. Cheap laughter.
Yeah, it's so bad. And it hurts comedy. And people don't realize it because the comedian goes, oh, I just killed that crowd. But you killed them with dopiness. You know, that they laugh here because they're in a situation, but as soon as they walk out the door, they say, man, why did I pay to hear that?
Yeah.
Those are the same dopey jokes my uncle would tell at Thanksgiving or that I would come up with. If somebody said, okay, you're a gay comedian. Now write 10 minutes of gay comedy jokes. Everybody would write the same set. And when you pay money to see somebody do that, it's embarrassing to comedy.
Yeah. Or you get the same comedians like you want to go see again, and it's the exact same, A plus B. Yeah.
Let me defend that a little
Okay, go ahead.
Well, because, I mean, I understand that part because it's like you come up with material that actually works, and then from there you kind of repeat it, and then you come up with your own thing, right?
Yeah, it really takes
practice,
a while
right? You come up with your own
to do it. But even with the regular comedians at my place, what I like to say is you definitely have to have your bits that you have to put together. But each week, if you're up each week, think of how you can say those to the same exact person where they don't feel like they're hearing the same exact thing, And that's one of the compliments that me and a lot of the comedians that I bring in, they get. They say, man, I saw that a month ago. And 2 of those were the same jokes, but they sounded totally different the way you brought it up or the way you talked about it this time.
They're kind of outside the box comedians.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's a lot of people who call themselves comedians who can go up and make people laugh, but there are very few people who can go up and make people care about why they're laughing. And I guarantee, if I took the top 10 minutes away from most comedians here, they couldn't go up for 10 minutes and make people laugh with just themselves and just original material. And, you know, I come off as, a lot of people think I'm aggressive towards comedians and comedy, and I guess that's just part of my nature, but it's not in a spiteful way. It's in a caring way about comedy and putting comedy first.
I like
You
that.
respect it. You respect it as an art when most people don't.
Yeah, something like that, you know, because a good comedian should have that little voice inside of them that says, you know what, I know I can say this, and I know it's going to make people laugh, but I know I'm not the first person to say it, and I know I'm not saying it from really my point of view to make it original.
So
you
you
know
gotta
what I mean?
you got to
And those
recreate
people,
it.
That's it, and those people just don't say it. You know, most comedy is like, it's like going to that oil painting store and buying a Van Gogh or something. Sure, it looks like it. Yeah, if you could.
There's my Van
But
Gogh.
it doesn't have the same feeling, the same emotion to the person you're giving it to. They know you didn't go buy a Van Gogh.
Right.
They know you went to an oil painting store.
And bought it for
You
$10.
paid- That's right.
I actually got it for $5 because it came with one for free.
That's it. And some people are so stoked about buying oil paintings and giving them to people as gifts, as if they were real Van Goghs.
When
And
we
they're
come
not.
back from break, I want to find out who your favorite comedian is, because what you're saying about this is my personal thing. What's his name that everybody thought was so funny for a long time? Dane Cook. Like, I think he's one of the. I can't stand listening to him.
No?
Because he's got a shtick that to me it's a very obvious shtick. This storytelling that goes on and then changes subject 15 times and comes back.
Yeah.
To where I'm like, my ADD kicks in. I'm like, I don't remember what we're talking about anymore. You just killed it. But I want to find out who your favorite comedian is when we come back from break. And I want to ask you about this neighbor thing.
Yeah.
That's you
my
posting
neighbor.
about.
Oh, yeah. I got two neighbors.
All right, let's find out about that when we come back. All right, we are back with Howard Hughes from Stand Up Scottsdale. And before we went to break, I said or asked you who your favorite comedian, if you had to pick somebody like that you could watch over and over again, or that you just find inspirational, or whatever it is, who would come to mind?
You know what? I mean, and a lot of people like him, but Bill Hicks. I grew up on Bill Cosby.
Right.
And a lot of people go, oh, that's crazy, you grew up on Bill Cosby, but you're not like a happy, uplifting kind of comedian, you know? And I mean, I really am, but I loved his control. To me, I get off on the control of the audience.
Right.
And you know what? If my intention is to make you angry, then I expect you to be angry, because I'm following that up with another intention, you know, to make you nostalgic or to make you sad
right.
or to cry. And they're all working towards a crescendo to make you laugh.
I like that. And Bill Cosby was good because he wasn't, for the most part, telling jokes. He was storytelling, and it was just, you know, entertaining and fun. It was a different kind of comedy. But my favorite, who doesn't tell stories at all, is Mitch Hedberg.
Mitch Hedberg, sure.
Mostly, because some of the stuff he says, if he was just to say it, it would be like, that was stupid. But his delivery and his persona when he's on stage, I thought is brilliant the way he did it.
Yeah, he controls the audience. You know, I always say in comedy, you know, it's like 1 minute you're Andrew Dice Clay, and the next minute you're Andrew Dice Clay. You know what I mean? And it's not taking anything away from his career now, but he's not. The audience is so fickle. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And if you're not real, you're not going to stay around, because people, once they get it, once they see through it, you know, Larry Cable Guy's not the same guy.
Right.
He's still saying the same jokes, but it's just people don't care, because there's a dishonesty there that now they see through. And now it's like, wait a minute.
He doesn't even have a southern accent in real life. You guys know that?
Yeah, right.
His real name is Steve.
And I always say that about like Jeff Dunham. You know, I got a lot of friends that write for him.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know what? This is my test. You know, take away the puppets and let a person stand there and tell those jokes. And they wouldn't fly on open mics. You know what I mean?
No.
That's a good.
I thought
that.
about that.
Yeah.
He's always come across as racist to me. I don't know why.
No, he
all of his jokes
The
are borderline.
jalapeno
Yeah.
on a steak.
But you can get away.
That's
He can
totally
get away
racist.
with it,
Totally racist.
Mira la
'cause-
Yolanda.
saying it.
Por el stick.
and he can get away with it as a
Because
white
he's a
guy
puppet.
because he's using a puppet.
Exactly.
Well, you
Yeah.
can get away with a lot of stuff on stage that
you have a
you
puppet?
couldn't if you were to walk into just a crowd and say the same things, you'd get your ass kicked.
Yeah, but you know what? You can get away with anything you want when you're yourself,
Yep.
and people just go, "That's that person."
Right.
You know, you can be angry, sad, happy, anything, and people are going to go with you because they're there with you.
They like vulnerability.
Yeah, yeah,
Transparency.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on, Yoli. Come up with a cool, deep meaning.
3-syllable word, punk. Go.
Go.
What?
He said vulnerability. I said transparency. You say.
You have thesaurus?
She goes to
I don't have
ASU,
thesaurus.
Howard. You have to excuse her.
I'm typing stuff on Facebook.
I went
for
to
you guys.
ASU too.
did you?
We're not smart.
No.
What did
we're
you
not.
major
I
in?
mean, 90%.
Bilingual education, secondary ed. They let me teach high school students.
Wow.
What did you teach?
Yeah,
What language?
English and Spanish.
Oh, so it was.
Yeah.
Oh, that's why you could pull out that.
You know,
accent.
I looked at you and I thought Spanish.
Right,
That's what I thought. I thought
He looked at you and thought you were black.
yeah. Well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
so
did think you were black.
okay. So Howard comes in, and Terry, you'll love this. Terry Frost is in studio with us now, and he comes in and looks at me. I'm like, Howard. He's like, he kind of bewildered, looks at me. He's like, yeah. I'm like, hey, how you doing? He's like, I thought you were black.
His Facebook profile looks like he's black when it's small like that. Through my
Maybe it's a
glasses.
photo negative.
So when I'm a small person, I look black.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I don't see colors. I mean white. I just see black people.
So tell us about your neighbors, because when I saw you post something about your neighbors, and I
Yeah.
assumed it was your actual neighbors. Like
No,
maybe had
they're not my actual
your neighbor's dog's pooping on your yard or something like that.
Here's the thing about me. I like comedy and I like comedians and I like back and forth with people. And if you want to start something back and forth with me, then I'm probably going to take that to an uncomfortable level for you. And so the one neighbor is one of those guys. His name's Jimmy Wisman. Yeah, go check him out. And see, Wisman, I said it, Wisman. I know your name isn't Wishman.
No
right?
idea what we're talking about, but it sounds good.
But he's a guy who came to my club, and I called him out on a couple things, and then he got his butt hurt, and then he thought because one of the big clubs in town was giving him stage time that meant something in comedy, and so I had made a post, and he kind of went after it kind of second-handedly. And so I called him out on that, and then he said, "Oh, crazy how you think I was talking about you. I was talking about my neighbor." And so ever since then, everything that happens, I'm like,
Your neighbors.
"Oh my gosh, the Super Bowl's on. Make sure Jimmy Wishman's neighbor knows that the Super Bowl is on." And so that's the one neighbor, and then the other neighbor is the Comedy Spot, which is another. It's not a real comedy club, but it's a produced show. And he runs it like it's a real comedy club. But it's
funny because I was telling you about this a little bit before we got on air. And it was just, I'm not saying it is, I'm not calling anybody out. All I'm saying is it's very coincidental that I signed up for an open mic like 3 months in advance, 2 months in advance. There was nobody on the list, at least that showed. And within 2 minutes, I got a response back. You're booked for that time and that day. I'm like, awesome. Later that night or the next day, I started promoting another comedy show we were doing at just a pizza place, like on the way far other side of town. Mm-hmm. And once I started promoting it, I get another email saying, "Oh, we're overbooked, so we had to bump you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, how? Was there another date?" Never heard anything back. And then they stopped following me on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And then another comedian that we had coming out with us got the same thing. Was told they're not performing there anymore and stuff. But I thought it was just humorous. It's like, don't be a hole about things.
Yeah, he's a lunatic because he's a comedy hack left over from the early '90s here in Arizona, and he's just a hustler. He's probably down right now with a sledgehammer breaking the bricks out of this building one by one until he gets up here to us. But I call him the hamster.
The hamster.
Because his name is Sean Dillingham, but he changed it to Sean Dillon, and then. He's diminutive, yet husky like a hamster, and he's a character, and so he doesn't like me, and I really do like him. He's a decent guy when he's not a lunatic,
right?
And he just burns through comedians.
People say that about me. He's nice when he's not deranged.
He burns through comedians. He sells them this dopey class that they do, and then they bring him in for their pro debut, and he gets all the money he can out of them.
I almost did this.
Did you?
Yeah,
it's so bad.
I would love to give it a shot. I'm a
Come into
pussy.
my club,
I keep telling him he needs to take. He needs to do stand up.
hilarious.
So we're gonna start a class in my place, but it's not a class traditionally. It's gonna be me, and then I'm gonna have the headliners that come in and guest speakers, and we're gonna do it every other week. And this guy could be any charge, and it's gonna do all the same bogus stuff that they do. And it's just going to be a way to make people feel comfortable that, hey, I'm getting some sort of feedback, but I'm not being hustled to keep this guy in business. You know what I mean? I really want to crush these comedy
That's
classes.
awesome, man. Let us know when that starts because we'll promote the heck out of that.
Okay,
that's great.
cool.
Now, do you think that that's an interesting subject because do you think that it's necessary? Like, do you think a class is necessary? Because I think that, like with acting, people, all the agencies out here push for these people to take their classes. And I'm like, well, I think if you can act, then a class is good. If you can't act, a class is not going to do anything.
Yeah,
that's
not
my
only
opinion.
is it not necessary, it's hurtful if you really are a comedian. You know, it would be like these paint parties.
Ooh, that sounds
Where
sexy.
they-
What is that?
Yeah,
What are we talking about?
where they like I have a friend, and it's a great mypaintparty.com or something like that. Elise Steele, it's great. Well, she does these paint parties where she guides people through making
Okay.
their rendition of
See,
the
my
thing.
mind went somewhere totally different.
Right.
But it's okay.
Which that's neat. It's a neat date thing to do.
Right.
But what these comedy classes and shows purport to do is that they say, okay, you and your guest can come in and I'll show you how to paint this picture and you can have it for keepsake. But you have to bring 10 other people to watch you paint this dopey picture. Not very well. And then you do it, and it's like, and then that person goes out and brags like, because they performed in front of some logo that they give value to.
You know what?
They give some relevance to this dopey picture they just drew.
You know what it sounds like? Not knocking him or anything. I haven't checked him out, but like those School of Rock type things.
Yeah.
Pay to come put your 10-year-old in a fake band so they can perform, and everybody can pay to come see them.
Yeah, like the Bob Bondurant,
Yeah.
That's great. Go out there and get an experience. But if all of a sudden they said, hey, all Bob Bondurant pro class drivers get to do 5 laps right before the Indy 500 with full stands.
I would watch that.
Oh, God. Yeah, you know what? Sign me up for that, Bob.
I watch that all day long.
The stands would be empty until like halftime, but whatever.
Well, what's going on at Stand Up Scottsdale? Do you have anything big coming up?
Shoot, we've got lots of good stuff. The first thing I want to talk about though too is at a different club though. It's at Stand Up Live, and they're doing this Arizona's Funniest Comedian deal, which a lot of these things I don't normally get behind, but they're doing it in the right way. It's a talent search. There's no bringer requirement. You know, obviously, we hope that that people put the word out and that just strangers want to come and see that. But it's a really cool. It's going to be the first annual.
Oh.
And so I don't know. It's in a month or so. Something
There's like kind of a competition there?
Yeah, I think it's ArizonasFunniest.com.
Duly.
And
You should try that.
I'm interested.
so yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm going to be shooting my first 1 hour DVD March 23rd at the club.
Nice.
And that's going to be free. And my buddies at Underground Hustle Comedy, they're doing it, and it's kind of like an opening to their business that they're doing, and they wanted to do it. I'm by no means at the level to have a 1 hour DVD special that
Just what? Put a lot of pictures in between. Why is it showing pictures?
I'm trying. No, I'm trying to be. What's that word right now? I'm trying to be
humble.
Yeah, I'm trying to be humble. I don't even know the word. I'm trying to be humble. Trust me, it's going to crush.
It hurts to say.
It's going to be a great DVD.
And then people can see a little bit of you, like the real you two, on Bar Rescue, because you were on Bar Rescue.
Fuck John Taffer. What a fraud. He's so fraudulent. At least in my show, he was. They everything they've done, we've either had to change because it didn't work or because the city made us change. And I don't know, whatever gets people in, I suppose.
Still cool to see somebody local out here on
still
the
cool.
show.
Still cool to cry on TV.
Yeah,
let people see the side.
Terry was telling me about it. She said, "Don't tell me I told you." So make sure where can they find you? It's
standupscottsdale.com. Howard Hughes HH Live on Facebook. And God, I know there was something else I wanted to mention.
Of course, Facebook is Stand Up Scottsdale.
Stand Up Scottsdale on Facebook.
Twitter is
too.
SUS Comedy Club.
SUS Comedy Club.
Instagram is, I think, Stand Up Scottsdale, right?
Instagram is, I believe it's Stand Up Scottsdale. And here's the last thing I want to say about the comedy here, if I can.
Sure.
Please go see all the clubs in the midweek shows at places. There's plenty enough people, to go around. But our goal is to educate the audience, so that they know what they're laughing at, and they laugh at only things that they feel, in their bones that they should be laughing at.
Like a more intelligent comedy.
Hopefully, not laughing just to try to make the person on stage feel comfortable.
Right.
Because they're bombing. When we're bombing, let us own it. Let us know.
I like that.
If you hate us, let us know.
We're going to go to break. If you want to stick around, we talk about some stupid headlines. So
All
if you want to throw your 2 cents in with that, we'll be right back.
Cool.
Now reporting from right to my left.
From right to your left?
From right to my left. That makes sense.
That doesn't make sense.
It makes total sense.
Sure, okay.
Check with your ASU peeps. Find out if it makes sense.
Whatever.
Now, what you got?
All right, so Bill Stanley buried astride his motorcycle inside enormous plexiglass box, riding beloved Harley to heaven. I hate these article names, by the way. They are
What's the
horrible.
article name?
That was it.
That was the article
That
name?
was the article
Hey,
name.
you're supposed to
book.
read it and put it in your own words like a book report.
I saw this. It's where the guy
fine, then
is on his... Have you seen this? He's on his bike. Is he stuffed or what is he? Freeze-dried? How did they...
Freeze-dried.
Because I saw a little bit of it, and they said people, so his loved ones could come see him. Is he going to be like
That was his goal.
disintegrating?
That was his wish. He
No,
wanted
he's going to be buried.
Oh, he's going to be buried.
He's going to be buried. He's just in a plexiglass. He's on his motorcycle.
Well, I'm going to go on record
It's
and
nothing
say,
ridiculous.
when I die, I want to be freeze-dried so people can see me long after I'm dead.
Yeah, I think they should turn him into a national geocache and give the clues to the coordinates, dig him up, and the first one to find him gets his Harley.
See, now that should be a will.
And the body.
Throw him back in the hole, bury him like a regular person.
Just kick him off. Get off here.
I don't think
Mine.
freeze dried means what you think it means. By the way, you're not Folgers crystals. You want to be taxidermied.
Taxidermy.
No, he
What
wants
would
to
they
be.
do?
He wants to be Folgers crystals.
Ooh, I want to be drank by people around the globe.
Yeah,
I live on forever, or at least for
that's a beautiful
60
thing,
minutes
man.
until they
Better
pee
than
me
having
out.
your ashes spread over a lake somewhere. You can get international recognition that way.
Right, exactly.
No, what we want to do is get taxidermied, and that is when they take all of your skin and then basically find a Daniel Spaulding statue and wrap all your skin around the statue.
That's
That's
so
no
gross.
good. I want
Oh,
everything
that's like a
intact.
horror movie.
All right, I want to be mummified.
That's what they do to
then.
all the stuffed animals you see. That's just their skin on a dog mannequin that resembles their shape.
That is so
What?
that's a
Those
letdown.
Aren't, those aren't just animals standing still.
Look at that
sorry,
dog.
bro.
Look how good he is.
Yeah, he's
Freeze.
stay.
Good Bucky. Good Bucky.
Why is that pheasant sitting?
It's posing with a mini rifle. What is that? What always bums me out is when you're at a bar and you see the deers with the antlers on the wall. And
So
they have
sad.
like party streamers and hats
Yeah,
on.
that's embarrassing.
Because you know the
You're
deer was
embarrassing
on his
your
way to a
death.
party, having a good time, and then bam, he gets shot.
So sad.
Or they're not.
It's an Ellen DeGeneres
They're
joke.
they're being degraded. What if their dear family happens by one day, looks through the window, and is like, "Oh, there's Uncle Johnny," and they've just bastardized him, put sunglasses on. He would never have worn those sunglasses. He wouldn't even need the sunglasses. He
Yeah.
had light sensitive eyes. He couldn't go outside.
I love that you find all of this funny, and not the fact that a grown man just pluralized deers.
I knew you were hung up on
I
something over
couldn't
there.
believe
Yeah,
you
does
guys
he,
just
like,
kept
start
going on
talking?
that.
He's
I'm like,
Canadian.
that's a man who just said deers.
He was using
I
the
was a
original
man.
Latin. The original Latin.
I'm now a boy again.
Let's skip that.
I got
story.
demoted.
All right.
go to another
I
story.
wasn't going to go
That was
into it
kind of
anyways. It was
pretty
interesting.
Cut and dry.
Yeah. This guy adopted plump black cats so he could eat them.
What? Yeah. Plump black cat.
It had to be plump. They're plump.
They're
cat
plump?
black. I can't say
That's
that
hard to
fast.
say.
Can say that 3 times fast.
Is that a dark meat cat?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that the, doesn't matter what color it is on the outside.
We were just talking about
We were,
this.
earlier.
We
Yeah.
just talked about this. We were at PetSmart yesterday with my son, and he's 17. He's got a weird sense of humor like me, and I thought it'd be great to go in there.
You're getting him a new
And I
collar?
love animals, but it'd be funny to go in with a hidden camera and just as someone came over to ask you, like, do you need any help? Oh, I'm just looking at the parakeets. Oh, okay, blah, blah, blah. How many do you think it would take to serve 5? We're having a small barbecue. You know, would 5?
I want everyone to have their own.
Yeah, do I need to double it because they're so small? Like 10 would do. You know, or what about the guinea pigs? Do they roast the same on a spigot like the other
Right.
pigs, or are they
They
totally
eat
And you
guinea
different?
have
pigs in Peru.
those little socks you stuff on their feet.
Do they make them that
little
small?
tiny ones.
I think the proper way to phrase that is, what's the cook down weight?
What's the cook down?
There it is. There it is. They'll know you're
Cook
serious
down
then.
too. I wonder if they would ask you to leave immediately, or they would just be dumbfounded. Like,
Speaking
oh.
of, and I apologize, I just want to say, and I know they're not parakeets, but they're chickens, and I went to Lolo's last night, not impressed. 2 times at Lolo's, not
Oh, you
happy.
went twice.
Twice in one night?
Twice in like the
No,
last
no, it
6
doesn't
months.
matter. If you gave it 2 shots, you didn't like it.
No, but
Yeah.
I wanted to see. You know what I mean?
What's the big deal?
It's just,
Well,
chicken and waffles.
Can I
right?
ask you, did
I
you order the
haven't had
same
it.
thing both times?
No, this time I didn't get a waffle. I knew the waffle was good,
Yeah, how do you mess up a waffle?
but it's a waffle.
Yeah,
That's it. You know what?
you can
I'll go to
accidentally make one.
Popeyes and then make my own waffle.
All right, but then, did you get the strips or did you get the actual fried, like, bone-in chicken?
I'm an American. I don't eat strips.
I don't know you, man. I'm sorry.
I eat chicken with
I'm just trying to
bones
think, 'cause I
in it.
love that friggin' place so much.
I don't know.
Lola's?
I do. I get the chicken breast, I slice it up, bite a chicken, bite a waffle, dip in a little syrup, and I'm in heaven, man.
You know what I think?
It's very OCD.
I think soul food is
Yeah.
like the original like government scam to keep black people satisfied.
Well, God, I
like
mean, that place-
it doesn't taste,
Isn't it?
and they're so stoked, and they're like, we serve Kool-Aid.
I know. They have Kool-Aid?
It's like a theme restaurant, but the theme is racial intolerance.
That's
Yeah, I
not
think
good.
it's-
I have
always
never
thought
heard it
that,
that
but I
way.
never heard anybody state it, and I didn't want to say it.
They call it drank on the menu.
No, they don't.
It's called drank.
I'm offended as being a person that was assumed to be black by Howard.
Yeah,
I am
you-
offended.
I kid you not.
Was assumed you're black, dude.
Last time I went there, paramedics were on the premises. A guy passed out in like the area where you walk to get to your
From
table.
eating too much?
The hostess is stepping over this dude.
They're
as
just
the paramedics
they're
are
dragging him off. Get him out of the
You
way.
know what?
Yeah.
It's
Bad for
not
business.
good. It's just a lot of Southern food.
there. Yeah.
I want to open a place
I
called
like it.
the
I'm
Strip
sorry.
Club and only serve chicken strips.
Chicken strips.
Because then people will be offended. It'll cause a
you
lot
wanna
of
offend
controversy.
people?
It would.
Yeah.
Open up a club called Baby Seal.
And then close it down 6 months later after you made $1 million from the
Yeah.
controversy.
Right, exactly. Like Pink Taco.
And then you could buy your own bat and have it engraved, and they can put it up on the wall.
Bill
Hey,
beat.
can I get
Seal
my bat,
beater.
please?
Yeah. Here's our complaint department.
I love how we just derailed right there.
We're like Amtrak.
You have to be on a rail first. is the
We're
thing.
like the Amtrak
We were
of
on a
radio.
rail.
Were we?
Well, you know
Yeah.
what? Here's the thing. We
I'm
went
on
on
some
a rail.
rails.
You guys went on a rail, but it didn't derail too much. It was
No, we stayed
they're
on the
just two
same
different
topic.
things.
We're
Yeah.
eating
Talking
animals.
about the derailment is derailing this.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
Way
What do
to
you got?
go.
What do you
Way
got?
to be a
I don't know
buzzkill.
where to go. I don't know where to go right now. I'm a little lost on this train
You have the
ride.
whole internet right in front of you. Just
I
read,
do.
read
you
what
want me
you
to read
see.
it?
What do you
Okay.
see? Read.
I'm reading.
Free Viagra.
Oh, that was good. That was like Grover.
The cute cat killer was allegedly caught red-handed as he was about to kill a cat for
Red-handed
dinner.
because he was bloody.
That's a little demented. He just said he was actually pretty confused, wondering if it was really illegal to eat a cat for dinner.
Wait, okay, hold on. So he was caught trying to eat the cat
Yes.
at his home?
Yeah. Well, 'cause
Here's
there
the
was,
thing.
there was
How did that
a,
happen?
there was suspicion that he
can't.
was buying all these cats, and
A
then
lot of
somebody,
He's
and
He
then
got a baker's dozen.
13th's free.
I guess someone was kind of curious because they see all these cats, and then all of a sudden they wouldn't see them at all around the house. It
And
was
he
kind
had-
of weird. They thought he was a Satanist,
And he had a weird, like, furry mustache that kept falling off. Like, what is on your face?
Yeah, but
Cat
it's
fur.
actually
He's
a
coughing
weird.
up hairballs.
Kitty veal.
Is he going down on the
Kitty
cats?
meal?
Is that what you're
Kitty
That's a
insinuating?
good one.
No, he's
Yeah.
just eating them.
It's a kitty
Oh,
meal.
that makes more sense.
I hate
Instead of a
cats.
milk mustache, he's
coughing up fur balls.
sorry, he's a little kitty.
He's buying massive amounts of catnip. That cat wine. Remember the cat
Yeah,
wine?
I do.
He's getting them drunk. Now, did he? Did he just? Okay, so he bought a lot of cats.
Remember that cat wine?
Were you,
Is
where
that
were
what
you
were
30
talking?
seconds
I was
ago?
reading this. Is that what we were talking about?
So, okay, he's buying a lot of cats.
No, that's the
Because-
thing. That's the thing. He's not buying them. He's adopting them. And I don't think you can eat anything that involves paperwork and an adoption fee.
That is
You don't adopt Oscar Mayer wieners.
That would change a lot of like things about our society. If we had
You
to
have to
adopt
adopt the animals
if you
and
had
then
to
you
adopt
eat
your
them.
bologna,
Yeah.
I'd like some bologna. Oh, it's going to be 3 to 4 week wait, and you're going to have somebody come visit your house.
Here's a
and
picture of your bologna's parents.
Do you
You
want
have to look at
contact
this
with
while
them?
you're eating it.
The weirdest thing about that guy is he was adopting cats and eating them, but he was buying ribeyes and keeping them around the house.
He was
Raising
raising them.
And
in the backyard.
Yeah. The neighbors, they didn't even know about the cats, but they're like, why is this guy's putting ribeyes in his windowsill?
This
Is
guy's
he
got
walking
like
a
petting
steak?
them.
this guy's got like 30 T-bones in his backyard, and he keeps going out and feeding them. What's going on back here?
He's building a cow.
One steak at a time. I think there's a movie in there.
It has to be.
There's not a movie in there.
Yes, a demented
Everything's a
guy
movie.
trying to build a cow out of steaks. Yes, I'd watch it. It doesn't have to be a good movie. It can be an Arizona-produced movie.
Oh, see.
I went there a
Maybe
little
the
bit.
comedy spot could produce it.
You know what? You did say something earlier that I thought would be a good stand-up Scottsdale-produced show.
What's that?
And that is a comedy battle where, like you were saying, take away the first 10 minutes. You come up and they have to have here's your subject, go. Or here's this, go, and see who can last through the competition.
I wouldn't mind seeing a one-liner competition.
You know what?
That's tough, though.
Yeah, some guys had that competition. They called it, Charlie Spee's Snap Battles, which will probably be coming back to the club. And the thing you realize about comedy, the more you see it, the more you see through what people do, you know, and there's pride in going, man, I'm just not there. I'm not that good, you know, and no matter how good I think I am compared to the next people, I'm just not that good. And
I think it's honestly, though, but you mentioned this before. It's really all about delivery, because when you watch a comedian, picture what they're saying written in like a courier font on a piece of paper,
right?
And then read that to yourself, and it's like that's really just not that funny.
That's the same as saying like take the lyrics from "Pour Some Sugar on Me" from Def Leppard and just read them. It is the most ridiculous lyrics you've ever seen, but the song is amazing, right? I mean, when I hear the song, I start dancing on poles. I just find a pole; doesn't matter where it's at.
It's in your living room, pervert. You don't know about it.
I used to have one. We sold it. But no, I'm talking about like light poles or whatever. I just which is normal,
sir.
Like,
sir, could you please push the walk button when you get a minute?
No, if it was over a
humping
loudspeaker,
it and push it.
I'm not touching that button.
If it was over a loudspeaker, like all of a sudden everyone heard the song and I started dancing on this light pole, it would be normal. But when I have my headphones on, it just is more weird. It's creepy.
Yeah.
And speaking of cool dance songs, real quick as we close, I watched Bad Grandpa last night. And by far the funniest scene was when the little boy dressed up as a girl at the pageant and started dancing to Cherry Pie.
Yeah, and he makes it rain on him.
Makes it rain, and the parents are so offended.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, check out our schedule. Andrew and Aurelia this week. Godfrey, the black one, not the white one, is in 2 weeks. It's sick, the people we got coming, and great comedy clubs in the Valley right now. Stand Up Live, Stand Up Scottsdale, and the Tempe Improv. The 3 bona fide comedy clubs. See the Comedy Spot, see the Speakeasy over at the Days Inn. All good shows, all have something of value. And when you see them, come see us last, and we'll show you the difference.
Wow.
Thanks, guys.
Nice.
I like that. Thank you, Howard, for being with us. We'll catch you next week.